AITA for taking a job at a company my spouse hates. I recently got laid off just before telling my employer that I am pregnant with my third child. I've worked so hard, in somewhat of a panic, to find a new job and have received an offer from a place I had already been trying to get a job at for several years. The job is a 25% raise, but I can no longer work from home. It is in my field, but even though the pay is more, the title is lower than the titles I've had before. That isn't the issue because I would rather be financially stable than aim for a higher title. The trouble is that my spouse has for the last several years openly despised the company because it is a big corporation and feels the company is wasteful and everyone who works there is a bad person. My spouse hates it like people hate the DMV, but even more, he fully believes in his soul that I will be a bad person if I choose to work for this company purely because the company is so large, slow, and its products are overpriced. When I told him I was interviewing, he said he would support me if I chose to do it, which is honestly out of character for him because we both know he hates the company. Last night over the phone, I told him I wanted to give it a chance, and he said, "I don't think you should." And today, when I told him I accepted the offer, he berated me saying he felt blindsided. They aren't offering me enough. Couldn't I find a job with a higher title? I didn't respect him because I didn't take his advice about how horrible the company is, and that our marriage will not survive me working at this place because he will never get over it. My spouse travels to work weekly in another state to work for a similar but much smaller company. My salary will be higher than his. His alternative to the job is that wants me to stay home and work for a new company he started, but he can't say how much he will be able to pay me. When I asked what he meant when he said, in the beginning, he would support me if I decided to work there. At the big company, he said he meant he wouldn't divorce me. AITA for taking the job? I don't want to doom our marriage, but I really need to be able to support my kids with a stable income. Two are mine from my first marriage and the one on the way is ours. We keep our finances separate. I have no other offers at the moment, but I'm still looking. Edit/info/update. Wow, I feel like I need to be crowdsourcing more of my life decisions. All the comments here have been so helpful in considering all the perspectives. This community is great. The job offer is at a large aircraft manufacturer. He also works at an aircraft manufacturer, but it is much smaller. And for the geniuses who asked if he has been rejected from this company before, you have an extra special magical power because the answer is yes. When I pressed, he said decades ago he was rejected from a very prestigious job at this company. I will be taking and keeping this new job and will continue to look for something more compatible with our marriage, but still comparable to the financial stability this job offers. I see counseling in our future as well. AITAH for taking a job at a company my spouse hates. So here's the situation. A pregnant mom of 3 gets laid off and understandably panics. She lands a new job with a 25% pay raise at a large aircraft manufacturer she's been trying to join for years. The problem? Her husband hates this company. Not casually dislikes, hates. He believes the company is unethical, overpriced, and that working there makes someone a bad person. At first, he says he'll support her decision. After she accepts the offer, he explodes. Says she blindsided him, disrespected him, and that their marriage might not survive this. Later, he clarifies what support meant. He wouldn't divorce her. Psychology angle? This isn't about the company. This is about control, projection, and ego threat. First, projection. He was rejected from this same prestigious company years ago. When someone experiences unresolved rejection, they sometimes cope by devaluing the source, convincing themselves it's terrible anyway. Now, his spouse getting hired there may trigger old wounds. Second, control dynamics. He suggested she work for his startup instead, without a guaranteed salary. That creates financial dependence. Her taking a stable, higher-paying job protects her autonomy. Third, ego threat. She'll now earn more than him. Research shows income shifts can trigger insecurity in partners who tie identity to status or provider roles. And finally, ultimatums. Saying, our marriage won't survive this, overemployment is emotional pressure, not healthy conflict resolution. She's choosing financial stability for her children. He's framing it as betrayal. This isn't about morality, it's about power, insecurity, and unresolved resentment. So what do you think? Practical decision or marital disrespect? Drop your verdict below.